Jesus Christ made the most profound statements about worry that the world has ever heard in Matthew the 6th chapter. Therefore I say unto you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, or what you will drink, or about your body, what you will put on. Isn't life more than food, and the body more than clothing?
Hello everyone, it's Charles Grove with Foraging Truth. We're going to go over a different plant today. You're going to find this plant in the same areas I find Solomon seal. This plant is Dioscorea villosa, or the wild yam. So yes, we're going to focus on not the plant, but the rhizome. The rhizome is the underground part of the stem where the roots come off. So, how to identify this plant? We have actually 3 of them growing together right here, which I'm going to take all 3 of these and put them in my wife's flower garden because they're very ornamental. But, if we look at the old stems from the wild yam, you're going to see these areas, these nodes on the old stem. This is where the pedules come from. On the plant, you can see the living plant behind you. Those pedules are where the leaves grow. So on the stem, this node is where those pedules grow. So where the pedules come from, the node is referred to as whorled, or in a wheel fashion around the stem, and you can see that is correct for what we're looking for. It also drops the old stems in the area, so you're going to see those. The stems are usually doubled back on themselves, which these ones are. And here's the living one. And we can see out here at the end that it is double backed on itself and growing back down the stems. So, from the node in the whorled fashion, or wheeled fashion, you'll know these little vines are coming out, and they have leaves on them too, but they're usually a lighter color. But they are still the same shape as the original leaf. Now this leaf is a heart. You can clearly see that. And that's a message from God for me, because this actually treats one of my ailments really well. This plant does. So, I am going to move you so that I can show you this plant a little bit easier and what we're going for here. Okay, so you see where the stem comes down. It's going to clear out the leaf litter. And remember, we're looking for rhizomes. Rhizomes are the underground stem. So, some other plants that grow pretty hard here. We'll go over those plants later at a different time. So, we're going to clear back, and I usually just start digging with my hands, because this is going to be a larger root structure than I've showed you with anything else yet. And these rhizomes are pretty big, especially on these older plants. I'm going to go through and I'm going to loosen all the roots from the rhizomes as I go through here. Now the wild yam is closely related to the eating yam that we all like, or most of us like. But this is not an eating yam. This is a medicinal plant. And the medicinal qualities of this plant, these are really tough, guys. So, see if I can show you this without dropping the camera off. Of course, we're going to have wildlife and insects in amongst this. Okay, looks like I got most of the plant loose. and amongst the other roots of the plants growing in around it and the tree. These are very easily transplanted, by the way. The rhizomes are very hardy. So, as you can see, I have this big, huge cluster now, and I have the vine in my hand. Now, even if I can't save the vine, if I break the vine, you're going to have other plants intermixed when you take these out, by the way. So you don't want those in there because you don't know if that plant is going to be medicinal for you or poisonous. But we'll go over that plant I just removed at a later date. I actually know what it is. So you see these gnarly root structures in here. But here's the rhizome. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this away. So here we have the wild yam. I did pull all the roots away from this plant. But this rhizome will still take off if I want to put this in my wife's garden, which I'm going to without her knowing. Hopefully she won't weed it out. So, see these rhizomes? Now what you want to do is you want to take the rhizomes, clean them off. You can leave some of the root structure on there. And you can see the growth from the previous years from this rhizome. And what you do is you take and you boil chunks of this rhizome, and you're going to get a melanginous tea, or a slimy red tea. You're not going to drink all of that tea. You take a spoon of that, and what that helps with is it helps with inflammation. So if you have irritable bowel syndrome, if you're ex-military, you've had a lot of stress in your life and you have irritable bowel syndrome, my heart goes out to you because it's one of the most painful things you can experience. It's like Crohn's disease, maybe not as bad. Crohn's as well. This can also treat that. And it doesn't treat the disease itself. It treats the symptoms. But the great thing about this is almost instantaneous when you take it. So if you take a spoon of that, almost instantaneous relief from those very, very, very aggressive cramps. And, you know, whether you have irritable bowel syndrome, you know, you have C and you have D. Of course, constipation and diarrhea. You know, some people have both. And but the painful swelling and irritation inside your intestinal walls can be soothed instantly with a tea concocted from the rhizome of this plant. So, I'm going to work on getting these other two out. And Charles Grove with Foraging Truth with the wild yam. The heart shape of the leaf, how it's a message to me, is because I actually have irritable bowel syndrome. And this plant helps me out immensely. So it's a gift from God to me. So we put his heart on there, the heart-shaped leaf. So, thanks for watching, guys. Keep foraging.